I'm not bogged down with notifications and that crazy red bubble that says, read me, open me, snap me back, tweet me. You get the point. It's time to vlog with blah, blah, blah. Ooh, vlog with blah, blah, blah. Well, let's go.
What's up? What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Marsha, aka MM Dulce, author of... Well, damn. Can you, like, move over? Baggage Claim, a life story, available on Amazon as well as mmdulce.com, where I, with the generosity of my heart, give you 6 of the 21 chapters in this juicy drama to you for free. Hold your applause, please, please. No, really, please. That's not why you're here. Anywho, as you can see by today's topic, I just wanted to share what was on my heart. Okay. We all have that one friend that we can text and it's like they are waiting by the phone. Okay, put your hand down, Marsha. I am that friend. Rather, I was that friend. Now you're gonna have to wait. But hear me out. I want to kind of explain why I am no longer answering text messages or FaceTime calls, maybe even phone calls, as expeditiously as I used to. So a little backstory, very quick, because y'all got really short attention spans anyway. I just have always been the type of person, I have been enamored and in love with my friends. I don't have much family. My friends have always been family to me, so they have always been important to me. So I recently discovered that I have this complex where I felt like I had to be super available for my friends. Again, I made my friends pretty important. I put them on a very high pedestal, you know, kind of the pedestal that people usually place family on, and I've always been there for every beck and call. Text and call, but you know, you get the drift. So I realized that this was getting a little overwhelming. Recently, I had a situation where I was out with my mentee and my phone was blowing up. My Apple Watch was a-buzzing and I was starting to get a little overwhelmed, and I had been feeling a bit of anxiety in this realm before. I felt as though I was stretching myself too thin, and I could feel it happening again. And anxiety is not something that I have diagnosed or anything like that, but I can always recognize when I'm going through a moment of anxiousness in general. So I realized I was getting FaceTime calls, phone calls, and text messages, and it was making me feel uneasy. While a lot of people can easily ignore their text messages, phone calls, and FaceTimes, I naturally feel like I have to be there for everyone. In this instance, because I was with someone in person, I definitely had no intentions on answering, but I still realized that I felt very uneasy with all these calls and text messages coming in and figuring out how I was gonna budget my time to be there for everyone. So I want to give a little backstory to kind of explain that back in my early years, one of the first friends that I really got super close and connected to had a wealth of mental health issues going on at a very young age. Beyond her, because I'm not blaming this on this friend, but because of my lack of sense of self, my lack of boundaries, my lack of self-esteem, I immediately put all of my friends before me. And honestly, this pattern went on until, well, pretty recently. So quite naturally, every time this friend was in distress, put a cape on me, baby, because I felt like I had to be there and be at her rescue. What the hell does an 8 and 9-year-old know about being at a person's side when they're going through certain traumas and crises? I have no idea, but I felt like it was my job. And I think you might be able to relate, let me know in the comments. But sometimes when people come to us with heavy things, we sort of kind of search for the strength and the capacity to deal with things that honestly we were not trained on. One of the epiphanies I had recently was, bitch, you are not a first responder, okay? You are not even a therapist, and you're not anyone's on-call person. Stop treating everyone like an immediate crisis that needs your attention. Once I had that thought surface through my brain, I realized that I was causing myself unnecessary stress. One of my friends that FaceTimes me, she would text me once because she knows I get a little bit of anxiety whenever I miss a FaceTime call from her. And my other friends, she texted me immediately and said, it's okay, I didn't need anything, don't worry about it. So I got that text and I was like, no, I'm gonna get to you. I'm literally doing something else. I have to call somebody else, but I'm gonna get to you. And she was like, Marsha, you're good. It really wasn't anything. And that was so hard for me to believe because I, in that moment, felt, no, you called me, you chose me. And that was when I realized how do I put it? Twisted, I guess, I looked at communication and what it meant for someone to call for my attention. Because I would quickly run to my friends whenever they called for my attention, I stopped giving attention to the most important person that could ever ask for it, my damn self. So once she told me, it's not even important, I had to realize, if anyone was ever really in a crisis, what could I really do? I would like to think, and I did think, that I can talk someone off of a ledge, help people get through their crisis, because, this is why I'm so interested in mental health, because I do have a passion for helping people through tough times, because your girl know a thing or two about tough times. But I had to realize, Marsha, sometimes that's not even what your friends need. Sometimes they're just calling because they just need someone to vent to. And you're probably not the only person on that list. I mean, 9 times out of 10, you were probably the second on that list, if not the 15th. And even if you were the first, it's a list, honey. They probably have other people to call. So it's perfectly okay, I told myself, to take a step back, especially in those moments where you're feeling overwhelmed, and just tell people, I'm so sorry, I can't right now. So I realized that I had to treat myself more importantly than my friends. Before, I thought self-love was, I know my friends are super important, but I gotta be just as important as them. And now I realize, no, you got the formula all wrong. You have to be more important. And we all know the adage. We know the saying that says, you can't pour from an empty cup. Man, when I tell you my cup has been so empty lately, I had to realize I am not doing enough self-care. And one thing about being in a mental health program, because I'm getting my master's right now, you are told time and time again, self-care, self-care, self-care. Like, we really hear so much about burnout because it happens so much in the mental health field that they're imploring us, even as we're counselors in training, to prioritize self-care. If I'm having moments where 5 phone calls gives me anxiety and I feel like I hate everyone, because definitely had a Friday where I was like, no one needs to talk to me today because I don't like people. I had got to a point where I got so stretched thin being there for people at all hours of the night that I was just so over people, and that is not me. I absolutely love people. I would not start a YouTube channel if I wasn't passionate about talking to more people that I can't meet in person. Hey, friend. So I had to realize that I had to put some boundaries up. Now, it's very hard for me. I had to realize that every text doesn't require an immediate response. Every FaceTime call doesn't need to get answered. And when I think about it, how invasive is it that people have direct access to you? Remember back in the days when we didn't have cell phones? When you had to be home and available and awake to get a call. Before, you would just go about your day and you would just have to see who called later on. Now, because of these cellular devices and these electronics that we have, because I get messages on my iPad too, and I answer from there while I'm on the phone with somebody, we feel like we have to answer everyone, and very fast at that, because everything is so instant, right? So it's just so crazy how invasive even a FaceTime call can be. And my friends know I adore them to death, and I love getting on FaceTime with them. But I had to realize sometimes I don't have the capacity for FaceTime calls. And it's not that I don't want to talk to that one person. It might be that I just talked to somebody for 2 hours, which I'm known to talk for 2 hours, especially if you keep me on the phone for 2 hours and the conversation's good. I might not have any more juice left in me to talk to you. So I had to tell myself, hey, it's okay, you can talk to them later. And I have my beautiful Sisty Trippy, actually both Shelly and Nay, check out their channel. I talk about them all the time because I'm so in love with them and obsessed. but it's like they have like a Marsha self-love, self-care radar, and they're like, Marsha, you're depleting yourself. And I had to realize I am connected to a lot of people, but it was Shelly made a very good point that your friends would never make you feel bad about taking time for yourself. And I used to feel easily guilted whenever I wasn't present for some of my friends. And when I think about it, even as I say that out loud, they were never any of my good friends. They were a lot of my toxic friends that I had to let go of, that kind of made me feel bad for not wanting to go where they wanted me to go or answer whenever they called. And they would throw a little fake hissy fit like, who are you talking to? What's more important than me? And of course, even they were joking, and I have to give them that credit. But the way I took it, especially how much I cared about people pleasing and pleasing these people, I used to beat myself up, y'all. I used to really have a fit. Like and this is recent. This is not something I've mastered and have in the bag. It's something that I'm actively practicing right now that I just wanted to share with you guys. And hopefully it helps you guys, be conscious if you have these same kind of habits and issues. But this was just earlier this week I felt overwhelmed, but I just thought of a solution. My solution is, and I'm telling all of my friends this, so if you're watching this and we haven't talked about it yet, follow the protocol, okay? I naturally get overwhelmed when it comes to FaceTime calls now. And the reason for that is because I cannot multitask. I should really learn to monotask, thanks to Crystal. We've talked about monotasking. But multitasking is something, let's just be honest, what the heck comes after Gen Z? What are they gonna call the next generation? Who knows? It's something that all of these generations love to do because, well, it helps you get more done throughout the day, right? Texting affords you multitasking because I can be watching a YouTube video and texting at the same time because typically if it's a text, it might be short. Unless it's me, then I might be sending you an essay. But typically these are things that I can do while multitasking. I could be watching a movie and texting. And as I say this, I'm like, you really need to be present and monotask. At any rate, whenever you get a FaceTime call, I'm one of those people, do not put me on pause, okay? You're too pretty to be paused on the FaceTime, a wise philosopher once said. But don't pause me. Why did you request my time of my face if you're gonna pause me? So I think whenever you FaceTime someone, it kind of asks for your undivided attention. You want all eyes on you, okay? I mean, I do have one of my best friends, like she pauses me all the time and I've grown used to it. But in general, FaceTime to me requires a lot more focus and energy than say a phone call or even a text message. Definitely even a text message. So now I have this rule where I would like someone to ask for me to be available for FaceTime. And so now I told my good friend, I told her to text me the eyes emoji and FT, or just the eyes emoji, and it will let me know that you want my attention. And then I'll be able to convey, hey, I'm not in a good mood right now, or hey girl, what's up, you want to FaceTime? I'm free, I got some time. Or I'll tell you, ooh, this time works better for me. So that's another thing I had to realize. It's not that I'm rejecting my friends, it's that I'm letting them know, hey, I'm prioritizing my self-care right now. And then I let them know, can I get back to you? Can I call you later? And like Shelly and Nay have been telling me, if your friends really care about you, they won't make a big deal about you taking time to yourself. They won't guilt trip you. And yeah, sometimes our friends, especially when they want to vent to us, they might have a change of tone because they realize, well, you're not as available as they wanted you to be. But that's a first world problem. We have therapists, we have online therapists. There's no reason why they can't find someone else to talk to because I'm pretty sure another one of their friends is going to be available. Now, I have made myself feel super responsible for being present for my friends as they go through different crises, and it has been very exhausting to even go through that crisis with them, not having taken time for myself. So now that I have boundaries in place, now I feel so much better. I feel like I can manage all of my different friendships healthily and budget my time and still make time for the most important person there is, me. It's not easy because I still feel like, oh my God, but I'm learning to calmate, okay? Like they're gonna be fine. And I'm sure all my friends watching are like, girl, we don't even be wanting anything. One of my friends was like, girl, I literally was just gonna show you my makeup. It was nothing, I'm sorry. And it's nothing for them to even feel bad about. I just have to know my boundaries. So I have decided to do two things whenever I feel like I'm going to get bogged down with either too many incoming calls or just pressure from people, I have decided first I'm going to utilize the D&D function. Do not disturb my, okay? Like, I'm just gonna learn to turn it off because sometimes it is very hard for me to see a call coming in and reject it. Sometimes I just have to know if it's a crisis or not. And again, I have to get out of thinking that every time a call comes through, I'm absolutely needed. It's just I really do pride myself on being there for my friends because I love when people are there for me in that same respect. Because I'm the type of person, I get a lot of energy from other people, and even I am learning not to call on people when I'm in certain crises because I want to develop that inner strength for myself, right? So that's the first thing I'll do, do not disturb. The second thing I decided to do was that I am taking my Apple Watch off at night, putting it far away from me so that I can start the decompressing kind of like routine before going to bed, so I'm not anxious and thinking about, oh, who just texted me. I also put my phone, I have this cute little case, or no, I have, what is it called? I have a cute little stand that holds both my Apple Watch and my cellular device, and I also put that away from me. I used to sleep with my phone in the bed, and now I'm just like, gross. Now I want to treat my bed like a sanctified and holy place. Ain't nothing really going on, so I guess it is kind of holy. But essentially, I want to treat my bed like a safe haven where I'm not bogged down with notifications and that crazy red bubble that says, read me, open me, snap me back, sweet me. You get the point. But essentially, those two things already are starting to work wonders for me. At a certain time, I'm disconnecting from this Apple Watch. Currently, it is 11:05 and it is still on right now, but that's because I have not began to unwind. I have not begun to unwind today. So that's that. And I do have a bonus. The third thing that I decided to do. So this one is very interesting, okay? We all know that we have sound notifications that you can alter in your iPhone or even your Android, right? One thing that I had to do for my mental health was I had to turn off the vibration. Something about the vibration and sometimes even the sound triggers me like, hey, you're needed. And until I can get over this little, I don't even know what you want to call it, schema in my head where I feel like text means I'm needed, call means I'm needed, FaceTime means I'm needed. Sometimes I'm just wanted.
I mean, all the time I think I'm wanted. Wow.
But until I get past that, I realized that removing the vibration notification has helped my anxiety around this situation lessen tremendously. Something about just seeing the red dot whenever I happen to just look at the screen, well, it feels a lot less daunting because I'm looking at the phone when I'm available to look at it. And when I'm not looking at it, nothing is calling my attention to the phone. Now, of course, I have not taken off my vibration for phone calls because I do want to know when a phone call is coming, because usually phone calls, they kind of present a little bit more urgency than a text. Of course, if someone has something important to say to you, if they can't say it in person, they'll probably call you or FaceTime you before they text you. But that is one thing that I did as far as my text notifications are concerned. I took the vibration off and it made me feel so much better. Sometimes, just a bonus is also, putting your watch on D&D. And you might wonder, well, why the heck do you have the watch? Personally, I love the way it tracks my fitness. I love being able to check things when I want to check them. Like right now, my phone's on Do Not Disturb. I just love that purple moon. And I see I have a message. And I don't feel like, oh, I have to get to it. I think it's because I eliminated the buzzing notifications on both my watch and my phone. So these are just some of the tips that have helped me kind of reel it back. I no longer plan to be super duper available. Now, I think I still do have a pretty fast text response. If my phone is in my hand and I'm going to go ahead and write you back. If I don't write you back, it's probably because I'm taking some time to myself. But I'm also going to vocalize to my friends, hey, I'm just a little overwhelmed right now, because I know that my friends will be super understanding. So that's just my 20 cents, because you know your girl can talk. It's not just two. But that's just my 2 cents on texting and calling back fast Hopefully you found this video enjoyable. If you did, insert a nice big juicy thumbs up for your girl, and I so appreciate you. Leave a comment down below. Subscribe to join the Ratch Batch because, I mean, come on. You like me, right? I'm trying to please you. Guys, that's it for me. Until next time, be refined, be ratchet, and be you. And you ain't gotta text them back. Go get you some popcorn or something. Peace.